Good evening, and welcome to Hermit Bob's Dragonfly Garden Bistro. What do I always got to think of that? Well, that's been the story of my life. A lot of things I don't get. Like yesterday, our cat. She will come up and snuggle with me when she first comes in at night after she's been out on the porch. She doesn't run free. It's a caged in porch, screened in porch, porch. Anyway, uh, she'll come up and sit in my lap, and then I'll brush her a little bit and get the knots out, and then she's done with me. But last night, she came up and jumped in my lap. Well, normal. About half hour later, she comes in, jumps in my lap again. I'd already closed the porch doors, so she was in the house. And so I said, well, this is different. So I brushed her and stuff, and she went away. And then about an hour later, she comes and jumps in my lap again and doing the same thing. I mean, this, and I'm thinking, oh man, this cat's really liking me. Cats usually don't like me. And this is the first cat that's really liked me. I feel like Sally Field at the Oscars. Uh, then about say 3 hours later, I'm taking a shower and I'm thinking, well, that cat really likes me now. And then it dawned on me, I never fed her. She normally gets food at about 6 p.m. and it was now about 9 or 11 p.m. So it was about 4 hours, 5 hours later. I don't know. Anyway, I went out and fed her, and she ate that like she'd been starved for 4 or 5 days. And then tonight it was back to normal. Sat in my lap, then brushed her, and she was gone. So I just didn't get it. I didn't get it. Anybody else would have got that. The cat's hungry. No, it's all about me. That's my friend Alan used to tell people. It's all about Bob, and I couldn't deny it because most of the time it is about me. In fact, this YouTube's all about me. Nobody watches it. I don't care because it's all about me. Anyway, the bigger thing is I've watched a movie last night, an old movie from I think it was probably the 2000 teens, maybe. Might have been 2010. Anyway, it was with Michael Keaton and Michael Caine, and I had seen it before, and it was just like the movie the night before or a few nights earlier, Once Upon a Time in the West with Henry Fonda, which I forgot to mention in that. It was Henry Fonda's supposedly only movie ever made where he played a bad guy. I forgot to mention his name. Anyway, I'd seen that before too. And I guess I wasn't really impressed with either one at the time because I was hesitant to watch them again. But the reason I watched the Henry Fonda one with Charles Bronson, of course, and Claudia Cardinal, anyway, was because somebody I saw YouTube like a podcast somewhere where they were talking about it was Henry Fonda's. They both loved Once Upon a Time in the West. They thought it was a great movie. It was Henry Fonda's only time he'd been played a bad guy allegedly. Anyway, so that got me to watch that. The one last night I'd seen before, and the reason I watched it is I didn't recognize that I'd seen it before until I started watching it. And I go, oh yeah. And then I remembered most of it. I didn't remember the outcome. I sort of remembered the outcome, but I didn't remember the specifics of the outcome, just that the good guy wins or something like that. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. I'm telling you. Yeah. Better. Anyway, both those movies I really enjoyed. I mean, the one last night was called Quicksand. Quicksand. With Michael Caine and Michael Keaton. And I don't think I recognized anybody else in the movie. Anyway, it was fantastic. Both of them were. And when I don't ever read reviews of movies until after I see them, sometimes I'll just read a review to find out if somebody thought the same thing I did. But I don't read it before. So after seeing each one of those movies, I'd watched them, and it said that they were box office failures. They were not popular in the United States, but both of them were extremely popular in Europe and made lots of money. And I don't know what it is. Maybe I've transformed to a European type of mentality. I doubt it though. But I found both of them really good. And the reason I was looking at reviews is I was thinking, boy, these were really good. And I bet you these are big popular films, but they weren't. Not here. They were in Europe. So I still stand by it. We'll go watch both those movies. Is there anything else we need to cover this evening? Went to the dermatologist today. You got to do that in Florida, especially if you had a basal cell carcinoma right in that little spot on my nose. That was about 4 years ago. So anyway, I go every 6 months, and then they check me all out. They even check parts that shouldn't need checking because they've never been in the sun. But maybe that's a place where they sneak in. I hope not. Anyway, got a clean bill of health and got some more of the special cream because I got something called rhodesia or moesha. Oh, I don't know what it's called, but it comes back as big red, or not big red, big scabs, and my eyebrows just start itching, and there's skin comes out. The insides of my ear. One time, I pulled out skin that was a perfect copy of my inside of my ear, like a 3D copy. Since I've been using the cream though, which has been about probably going on 20 years now, haven't been having that, but I have little flare-ups all the time. And they told me that my crotch rotch that I had was severe crotch rotch, or crotch rot. I'm telling you, the teeth aren't slipping because they're my teeth. Um, anyway, is a form of that, of the moesha, rhodesia. I don't know what it's called. Anyway, that it just kind of lays underneath and then it pops back up every once in a while. So I use that cream, and you just use it for a little bit of time to get rid of the one in the crotch rot. The other cream that I use for the nose, use it twice a day. If I went down to one time a day when I first got it, I said, this stuff's working great. All the itching and everything went away. I went down to one time a day and it all came back. So I went back to 2 times a day, and I was telling my dermatologist at that time, I said, wow, this works so good. I thought I could go down to one time a day, and it all came back. And she got almost violently mad going, I told you 2 times a day. Wow. There's a forceful doctor. Okay, that's all I got. Food, smoke them if you got them. It's going to have to be chicken because I just can't get enough barbecue chicken. Barbecued in the sense that you smoke it, not necessarily dripping with a bunch of crummy sauce. Well, sometimes sauces are good. Okay, I think it's time to end this session. Good night. Have a good tomorrow.